Hey, what's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the fourth and final vehicle that we've purchased for this build. It's a black E39 BMW, and our plans for this one are to use the engine out of it. I bought this in Virginia Beach and then trailered it up to Jake's house in Tennessee for him to start the teardown process and figure out what would be usable on the car and everything. As you can see in these pictures in the beginning of the video, there's quite a considerable amount of front end damage. From what I understand from the guy that I bought it from, his girlfriend was getting on the highway, the main highway that goes through the Hampton Roads area, 64. And in our area, because of how many on and off ramps there are and how congested it is, all of the on ramps are really tight, like 25-mile-an-hour curves to get on. And apparently, she was hot rodding the car while trying to text and drive, which is always a great idea. And apparently she was texting and like dropped her phone or something while in the middle of the apex of the on-ramp going about 45 miles an hour, 20 more than the posted speed, and drove right into the guardrail at like 45 miles an hour. And you'll see later on when the car gets torn down and everything that it basically all the safety breakaway features in this car wound up doing exactly what they were supposed to do. You can hear it kind of making a weird noise when Jake starts it up and drives it around the backyard later on in the video. That was basically just the fan trying to turn up against all the belts and everything. It wound up doing no damage to the front of the motor. One of the headlights still worked somehow. The radiator wasn't punctured, if I remember right. It might have been. I don't really remember, to be honest. But it was everything that was important still worked. Somehow the airbags never went off. Like I said, the front of the motor was fine. None of the components on the front were damaged. And yeah, later on you'll see when we tear it apart that the frame horns on right where the bumper goes in, they wound up taking a pretty significant bend to them, but somehow the important bits of this car wound up being in good shape. So when I transported this car up to Jake's house, the only issues that I had with it were the hood. It kept popping up. I wound up leaving it like 4 o'clock in the morning, dropped it off at his house, turned around and drove all the way back home again. One day it was, oh man, it's like an 8-hour drive each way there, so it was like a 16-hour day. Yeah, that was pretty fun. But yeah, this is just the introduction to the fourth and final vehicle that we're using for this build. And in the next video, you'll see Jake starting to introduce the car and tearing it down and everything.
We're just checking the shocks out. We don't know how good they are. Pull around, get a better look.